You're watching South Asia Newsline, and here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Friday, the 7th of June. BJP-led alliance unanimously elects Modi to lead as PM for third term. Amid strained ties, Canada calls India's second biggest threat. And jailed Imran Khan says unannounced martial law imposed in Pakistan. And now for all the details. India's Narendra Modi was formally elected on Friday by lawmakers of his National Democratic Alliance to be the Prime Minister for a historic third straight term. The newly elected lawmakers from BJP and its allies, including the Telugu Desam Party and the Janata Dal United, voted unanimously for Modi's name as the alliance leader, which was proposed by senior BJP leader Rajnath Singh. Following his election, Prime Minister Modi said NDA is not a group of parties that came together for power, but it is an alliance committed to work with the spirit of nation first. He said, in the last 10 years, the NDA has worked to take country to new heights of success and added that in its third term, it will keep its focus on good governance and development.
We stand at a crucial juncture in our nation's history. NDA government, under the visionary leadership of Sri Narendra Modi ji, has taken significant initiatives in the last 10 years. The country has witnessed remarkable progress and transformation. Narendra Modi ji focused and dedicated approach has transformed the nation into a global powerhouse.
कि आपने जिस प्रकार से हमें बहुमत देकर के सरकार चलाने का सौभाग्य दिया है, ये हम सबका दायित्व है कि हम सर्वमत का निरंतर प्रयास करेंगे और देश को आगे ले जाने के लिए हम कोई कोर कसर नहीं छोड़ेंगे.
Later in the day, the NDA leaders met President Draupadi Murmu to stake claim to form government. India constitutional provision mandates President to invite the largest party to form government. While the BJP fell short of majority mark on its own, it bagged the maximum seat in the recently concluded election, with its coalition NDA securing 293 seats in the 543-member Lok Sabha, giving it a slim majority in the lower house. The swearing-in ceremony for the Prime Minister is scheduled for Sunday evening, which will have several world leaders in attendance. Amid strained ties between New Delhi and Ottawa, a Canadian Parliamentary report has labelled India as the second biggest threat to Canada's democracy. Canada's National Security and Intelligence Committee in its latest report has claimed New Delhi's foreign interference has increased slowly in Canada, which it said extended beyond countering pro-Khalistani efforts in the country to include interfering in the Canadian democratic processes and institutions. The report added that these actions include targeting of Canadian politicians, ethnic media and Indo-Canadian ethno-cultural communities. India seeks to cultivate relationships with a variety of witting and unwitting individuals across Canadian society with the intent of inappropriately exerting India's influence across all orders of government, particularly to stifle or discredit criticism of the government of India, the report added. Earlier this year, Canadian Intelligence Agency had also accused India of interference in Canada's election. India has, however, denied the allegations, calling them baseless. New Delhi and Ottawa have been at loggerheads for months after Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau accused India of being involved in the killing of Khalistani terrorist Hardeep Singh Nijjar, an allegation India called as absurd. Pakistan's incarcerated and former Prime Minister Imran Khan on Thursday said there is unannounced martial law imposed in the country. Speaking during the hearing of a case in the Supreme Court, Khan lamented that he was sentenced to 14 years in the Toshakhana case, claiming that prosecution falsely estimated the value of the watch he received from a foreign dignitary as Prime Minister at 3 billion rupees. Khan compared his jail conditions to those of Nawaz Sharif, requesting a comparison of the facilities provided. Khan has been convicted in multiple cases and has been in jail since August last year. He blames Pakistan's military for his ouster from office. And over 36 people were injured as violent clashes erupted when security forces allegedly opened firing at peaceful protesters at the Chaman border. A report.
The Pakistan Army's notorious Frontier Corps on Thursday allegedly opened indiscriminate fire on peaceful protesters including ethnic Pashtun tribesmen and daily wage earners in Chaman who were staging a sit-in for the past several months against new border rules. At least 40 people including a dozen policemen were injured in the violent clashes that erupted, further exposing the oppressive regime's iron-fisted approach towards dissent. The new policy, which mandates passports for cross-border travel, has disrupted the age-old familial and trade ties between Pashtuns living on both sides of the Pak-Afghan border. This latest incident is a stark reminder of the systematic oppression and human rights violations perpetrated by the Pakistan Army in the regions inhabited by ethnic minorities.
Nepal's Council of Ministers on Thursday recalled ambassadors from 11 countries, including India and the US, months after change in its coalition partner. Talking to ANI, Information Minister Rekha Sharma confirmed ambassadors to India, US, UK, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, South Korea, Spain, Malaysia, Portugal, Denmark and Israel have been called back. While she added new envoys for these countries will be appointed soon, no reason was given for calling them back. The Kathmandu Post in a report suggested the decision was taken despite strong reservation from Deputy PM and Foreign Minister Narayan Kaji Shrestha. The report, however, said pmdahal and cpnuml Chairman KP Sharma Oli unilaterally decided to proceed with the proposal. Notably, these envoys were appointed during the pmdahal's coalition government with Sher Bahadur Deoba-led Nepali Congress. Media reports suggest new envoys are likely to be candidates backed by cpnuml, the largest coalition partner of pmdahal.
They are big power.
Sri Lanka's parliament on Thursday approved a law to attract investment in renewable energy and reduce losses in its state-run power monopoly, measures it had committed to be in a $2.9 billion IMF program. The 225 lawmakers approved the new legislation with a majority of 44 votes. Power and Energy Minister Kanchana Vijayasekara told Parliament that Sri Lanka has set a target of generating 70% of its power via renewables by 2030. It is estimated that in the next 6 years, it will need $12 billion to meet this goal. So we need to open the sector to attract this investment, he said. Opposition parties and trade unions opposed the new legislation, arguing that it gives more power to the minister and opens the door to privatization. Sri Lanka entered into a 20-year power purchase agreement with India's Adani Green Energy Limited last month for 2 wind power stations being built by the company at a cost of $442 million. Sri Lanka has discussed grid connectivity and plans to attract investment from India for its renewable sector, aiming eventually to export power to its giant neighbor. The UNICEF, in its latest report, has stated that 2 in every 3 children in Bangladesh under the age of 5 live in food poverty. Bangladesh is among 20 countries that contribute to nearly 65% of the world's severe child food poverty. Poor nutrition in early childhood can lead to lifelong disadvantages, including poor school performance, lower adult earnings, and persistent poverty. Factors contributing to child food poverty include inability to afford nutritious foods, a lack of awareness, and climate-related disasters impacting food availability and prices. The UN body urged the government, civil society, donors and the private sector to use health systems to deliver essential nutrition services. That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time next week. Good night.